Right, good morning to all of you guys. This is Kel once again. Today is Thursday. Right now, thing is this just official. I've discussed with my wife, and I think that our time spent in the morning with the kids are important. So that's why I will have my morning MAO to be starting at about 9 a.m. All right, that means that from tomorrow onwards, right, my MAO will start at 9 a.m. in the morning, so that I have some time to spend with my kids, because sometimes I go back very late. And of course, I missed that time. And of course, in the morning, that will be the little time that I can spend with them, right? So I'll try to finish up my MAO materials ASAP. Then after that, I'll rush down to the office, because you notice that in the office, I'm a little bit more relaxed. Because at home, the kids are having their studies in the morning. And if I get too loud, they may be affected. All right, my house not very big. Okay, so in the office, I'm okay. I can be loud. I can be, I can energetic. I can, scream all I want. So guys, just to let you know that from tomorrow onwards, or today, my MAO will be from 9 a.m. Okay, Singapore time, 9 a.m. onwards. All right, so thank you guys once again. All right, let's start our morning MAO right now. Okay. All right, I think that we have some little thing here, because I see that there's 10 comments, but on my screen here, not really showing it. This morning, I believe there's some issues with the Facebook side. Okay, let me just try this again. All right, it should be working right now. Okay, it's good. All right, good morning to you. Hi, morning. There was someone came to the office. It's okay. All right, good morning to you, Judy, Anthony, Eric, Eiling, Arun. Hi, morning. Yay, spot on, right, for DAX. Yay, big money, yeah? Yeah, very good. All right, and Adrian, Anthony, Edwin, Priscilla. Now, the thing is this, I'm not too sure, but this morning, Facebook actually went down. So in case things really happen in between, all right, my recording is on. So if let's say anytime it's intermittent or again, I just gonna cut off, right? All right, we just stay on, okay? I'll try to come back online ASAP, okay? All right, let's do it. Okay, so this morning, all right, now everybody must understand this tonight, okay, 8:30 p.m. In fact, by 8:25 p.m., you should be already online watching the market, because tonight is the US CPI data. I can tell you this is going to be the most important data, not the non-farm payroll. In fact, the CPI data. The thing is this, okay, yesterday someone asked this question, all right, Kel, if the CPI data is really terrible, what will happen? Well, I will just tell you this. Most likely, okay, right, there'll be an initial knee-jerk effect. But end of the day is the Federal Reserve will come in and say it's just transitory and nothing will, really bad happen unless the data go beyond a certain number. All right. So I'll talk about this shortly. But I can tell you this is very clear now that yesterday the 10-year yields went down below 1.5%. Give the very clear indication that the hedge funds, the funds are now pretty sure that there might be no interest rate hike at least the next 2 years. Apparently, all right, this is what they're seeing right now. So that is the thing that is quite interesting, because with data of auction, yesterday the US Treasury auction has the highest number of bidders in the market, highest bidder in the market for the last whole year. Yet, and that drive the yields down. But yet the stock market didn't really react onto that positive news. So there is a question mark here itself. Is it because that they are very optimistic or they are very worried? That's why they are actually buying the treasury. So again, this is going to be a $1 billion question. We'll come to that very shortly. All right. So before we start this morning, once again, disclaimer as usual, you have to understand that you have to read through this disclaimer, and then you have carefully consider whether this trading activity is suitable for you, your current financial status, condition, and of course, if you have all accepted the above and you have identified me. All right. So cool with that. Let's continue. Thank you. All right. Now, this is a very nice cartoon. There is no inflation worry. Really? All right. So apparently Uncle Sam is telling everyone, look, let's be upfront here. Okay. There is no inflation. And of course, this picture, this cartoon tells you that, right? Are you the dummy? Because one thing is that when you tell me there's no inflation and I'm suffering from inflationary problem, you tell me, it doesn't make sense. If I cannot see it, okay, if you cannot see it, I can understand. But what is actually happening now is right in our face. Example, This is a cup of coffee. Okay, a cup of coffee in 1970s is worth 25 cents. Now, of course, we understand our salary also went up, but I'm quite sure it did not go up by 10-folds. So what happened is that you can see from 1970 to 1980 and all the way to 2010. All right, this is how our coffee price went up, right? But incredibly, in year 2020, is that right? This coffee price has went up to $1.35 on average. So think about this, right? Did this income went up by that type of figure? That's one. And of course, 175 is a low average, low average, okay? So if you look across, you Google it, you can see that there are also cases telling you, in fact, yesterday, Deutsche Bank came out and said that the global time bomb is due to the rising inflation. So Deutsche Bank coming in and telling you this, and you still tell me there is no inflation. So basically, you're telling me that, right, you can settle this problem. So of course, if you can settle this problem, there will be no other issue. Like example, today, China's CPI data was also very high at 9.9%, I think. All right, so all these things tells you that the world is definitely having inflation. But as long as Federal Reserve is able to cool it down and people don't mind having it, well, okay, then we have a positive market right now. All right, so what you can see is that the hot inflation data is from Deutsche. All right, hot inflation may have become scorching in May and expected to hit a 28 years high. All right, so now economists is all saying that the consumer inflation, excluding food and energy, is up by 3.5%, the highest since 1993. So all these data are all coming up, and you can see from the chart wise that it is there. And if you want to go into deeper, you can take a look right here, right now. That whenever the CPI data go past the 4% marker, usually at 4%, can you see here? Once you cross the 4%, right, you realize that we enter recession. Every time we hit about 4%, we enter recession. The gray area is recession area. But the point is this, we have already hit recession 1 year ago, right, during the 2020 pandemic. And now we just reached this point. So we have been in recession for quite a while. But the problem is whenever we have recession, the stock market comes down. But no, our stock market went up. So that is whereby the thing got decoupled. Later, Mark Bobius will be telling you why is it called confusing right now and what to look out for. So this is what is really happening in the world. But of course, if you were telling me, Cal, because the Federal Reserve, they don't care about food, they don't care about the energy, then of course we have the indicator that's excluding food and energy, then it's even worse. Then it's even worse because you look at it, the last time we see something of sort or something of similar, okay, you can see that yourself, right, is where we are now. Okay, so what happened back then in 2007 and what happened in the aftermath of 2002 after the SARS, we can see that that is where the prices goes up, right? So apparently after that, what happened? The market, the data shows that it will come down. When it came down, it's because the stock market come off. So are you telling me that the stock market is on the way down? Because if you tell me you don't look at the food, you don't look at energy, then by theory, then this is what you should be looking at. So this is again why there is an expressed concern why now the stock market is actually near a very high level. So of course, I've been saying this again and again, until the fat lady sing. All right, then this thing will start moving. If not itself, right, the market is going to just don't care, don't bother, and continuously buy into the market. All right, so that is what I have to share with you on the inflation ground. And of course, I got a video to show you, but this is going to be a 3 minutes video. Going to miss the market morning movement. So we go to the market right now. Okay, let's take a look. All right, so let's us take a look at the China market right now. The China market is slightly higher once again, the Chinese stocks. Yesterday, we have a very beautiful Doji, and of course, yesterday, the low hits the MA30 beautifully and rebounded. That's why I believe our MA30 is a very powerful tool. So today, the MA30 is about 17870 level. So we will be watching that. All right, yesterday, China data was quite good, right? That's why you saw the market reacted. So 18870 would be the moving average for the China A50 counter. All right, so we need to watch out for that. Okay, so that's China A50. And for Hong Kong, now Hong Kong yesterday was quite an interesting movement. It was down up. It was up initially. Then after that, I think it was dragged down by the Nasdaq. End of the day, this is what's happening right now. It's very clear that there is a very what they call strong triangle movement. So today, I kind of say that if the Hang Seng stays below the moving average here, I do expect it to go down. So 28,780. But of course, later I'll share with you an incredible thing about in Hong Kong, that they're actually giving out gold bars, Teslas, houses if you take your vaccine shots. Oh my God, Singapore should try and follow, man. Yeah, you don't know that. I didn't see in the news. In fact, I think that's why they try to avoid talk about it. So watch out for this for today, and MLP for today is somewhere near here. That's about 28,800. All right, Hong Kong open right now, and Hong Kong gap down. Oh, Hong Kong gap down. Interesting. Okay, because US market was down last night. So Hong Kong market gap down, but it's not going to stay down too long, if I can see from here. All right, the Hong Kong market now is trading at this 28,760. All right, so now it's trading below the MA30. So by right, there should be some selling, but I say again, all right, if the China A50 counters are positive, the downside could be limited. Okay, if it can be limited. Let's look at the Hong Kong chart. Will be clearer, right, on this Hong Kong right now. Okay, here we go. Now, Hong Kong KSI is still green in color. So that's why the upside is still going to be there. So for Hong Kong today, it's very clear. It opens between the two pivots. So opening price is between the two pivots. So as long as Hong Kong stay above OP, right, to hit KTR +1, I think the chance is very high. Okay, to hit KTR +1, chance is very high. Now, unless it goes down and break below pivot 2, then there might be some selling. But the downside, I believe, is between -1 to -2, really, because the KSI is actually green in color. All right. And as of now, you can see Hong Kong, although it gapped down slightly, but now it has covered all the gap already. So I kind of say that, right, the bullishness is still there in Hong Kong, unless, again, something happened in the US market or China A50 go into some profit taking. If not, Hong Kong now most likely will be trading to the upside. Okay? All right. So all clear on this? So good. Okay, we come back to the two market shortly. All right, let's continue. So I'd like to show you this video now about what someone explained about the current inflationary problem. Let's bring it up.
Russ Kosterich, BlackRock Global Allocation Portfolio Manager. Thanks for joining us, Russ. Good to see you. What is your take as to whether we're past the worst of the inflation scare for US equities or not?
I think we have a few more months left of scares, or at least some uncertainty, and probably a bit more than that. You know, there's a lot of talk about inflation being transitory. I think that's right, but we have to define what transitory means. I don't think transitory means you've got another month or two. It's very likely, given the base effects, given what we're seeing in wages, given what we're seeing in supply bottlenecks, that the upside risk on these inflation prints is going to last several quarters, not just a couple of months. So I think this is something we're going to be focusing on probably for the remainder of the year and into 2022.
What about you? So what does that mean for your equities exposure, both here and abroad?
So I think it means a couple of things. You know, the market can live with some inflation, particularly if it's happening in the context of these just incredible growth numbers. You know, again, you know this as well as I do. We're looking at some of the best growth we've seen in decades. That has an incredibly powerful effect on the top line. And it means, as we saw in Q1, that earnings can continue to be strong, even if the input prices are rising. Having said that, it does make a difference in the type of equities you're in. And while growth has come back a little bit in the last month, it's still an environment where you want to be levered to cyclical companies, whether we're talking about manufacturing, basic materials, some of the financials, consumer companies that are going to be the most geared to that sharp rise in nominal GDP.
Everything you're talking about, Russ, the fact that the economy is continuing to look strong, it's booming right now, the numbers look great, inflation is heating up in many pockets of the economy. But you would think this would all be very bad for bonds, and yet they've caught quite a bit here with the 10-year yield at 148. So explain what that's telling us.
Well, I think, let's be honest, it's a bit of a mystery and it's hard to explain. I think the simple answer is you have tremendous flows coming into the market that need to be put to work. You've got flows from institutions, you've got flows from asset managers putting that institutional money to work, you've got flows from retail investors, an aging population looking for income. So I think the reason we're seeing the bond market as resilient as it has been is that there's a lot of money that needs to be put to work. Having said all of that, I do think we're going to see yields higher by the end of the year. And I just cite a couple of simple statistics. Real 10-year yields are around -80, -90 basis points. That's pretty much where they were back in early November, before the last 2 rounds of stimulus, before we knew about the efficacy of the vaccines, before we knew about how effective the rollout was going to be. So the notion that real yields haven't budged, despite all of those developments in the real economy, is really hard to fathom. I do think we're going to see an adjustment in real yields as we get into the back half of the year.
Okay, so you can hear for yourself that this guy from the BlackRock, he's actually also being asked the same question. If let's say the economy is doing that well and there's inflation in the picture, why is the yields are still staying low? And you remember what Tom Lee, right, the analyst is saying that, if let's say there's inflation, then the yields will have shown, but the yields are not showing, that means there's no inflation. So you put this back to back itself, right? And based on what this guy has just said, I totally agree that there's a lot of money now is flooding into the treasury side. So the question is this, that means that there's a lot of money have to be put to usage because that they need to make some money. But currently now the yields at 1.5%, this sort of level, because when you buy bonds, you buy the bond itself, then the yields, the more you buy the bond price goes up, the yields come down. So that means that people are actually buying bonds, getting they don't mind the 1.5% run for the 10-year yields. So think about this. That means that it's either that it's just extra money, or because they don't think that the stock market or any other market can give them 1.5 yield, they decided to put it onto the bonds. So that means that there's a lot of money going to the bond market right now, and this is actually a worry sign, because last night, the US overnight RRP, all right, reverse repo operation has hit past the 100 billion mark. All right. So this is really incredible. All right. This is things that gone really go out of the nominal. So all I can tell you this, guys, is that tonight the CPI data is going to be very important. And this 2-3 weeks itself, right? Please be very careful, because there is a what you call anomaly in the market right now. You have to be very, very careful on this. All right. So that's why yesterday I showed all these words, okay? And I purposely changed this because when I saw this picture, I was laughing away. And I tell you this is how the world works, okay? When the Bitcoin is at 33,000, which happened just 2 days ago, all right? No one want to buy Bitcoin. And everybody was just telling you that, okay, guys, Bitcoin is not for you. Bitcoin will go down further and yada, yada, yada. But when it was 60,000 to 63,000, you can see that the people go crazy on it, okay? They would rather buy at 60,000. Of course, this is just a parody, you just change it a little bit. But that point is very clear, that people would like to always buy at the high, no matter how. It's a bit of like FOMO, right? Fear of missing out. So please understand this. I'm going to show this again one more time today, just to remind you guys. I'm not suggesting nor implying a market crash, but I do suspect that there will be a potential 8% drop. I've been saying this for the longest of time. I suspect that there will be an 8% drop in the equity market. Okay, why 8%? Because I believe that the market is into 135 days now without 5% pullback. So there is a good chance that this may happen on probability. Number two is, with the current Federal Reserve so adamant in pushing on the market, to drop by 10% is not really possible in my book, all right? Though it's between 5 to 10. So obviously, I chose a better number. I chose 8, okay? So that is how I arrived with my 8% thingy. And of course, I did check back with the CBOE options market. I do see that there's a lot of strike apparently at 32,000. And if you do the mathematics, it's about 8%. So all I am saying is that, right, guys, I'm not suggesting you to sell short in the market unless you want to do it. I'm informing you that trim your winning position to original weight, all right, and let the winner run first. As winner run, just put the SWL, okay, put the Sherwin level into it, all right. Number two, okay, if your position right now, right, is not doing, because you know why? If the stock market is doing well and your counter is going down, that means that there's a problem here. Because what if happened, the stock market really tanked, then obviously it's right. Those stocks that are down right now will sell down even faster. You understand my point? So it is not worth it, okay, if your position now is not working for you and you know that inside you, you know that there's something very wrong here, then why don't just kind of reduce it? Take back the capital. Who knows, you can buy it at a better price, or you can buy it on some other assets to make the money. All right, of course, holding cash is the most important thing, because if you have nothing to buy right now, there's no reason to just jump in to buy because you want to buy. You just hold back in cash, wait for a while, let the price come down, and you can buy it cheap. I'm pretty sure now that you won't buy a DBS at $30. If you ask me, I would be buying. I'd rather buy at $25 or even $20. At least that is a price I know that maybe in the next 2-3 years, it'll go up again. That is how you can actually do better investment, all right? And last but not least itself, right, we do not time the market. We just basically manage our risk to improve our long-term outcome, all right? So guys, this is very important. I just want you to understand this. This is a herd mentality. When the price goes up, everybody follow. When the market goes down, you realize that no one really do that. Only the smart people, right, the very smart investors, like some of you guys here is all right. Only the smart investors, they will know that this is time to buy, okay? So with that, I hope that you guys understand this particular sharing. If you like this sharing, please key the word like, L-I-K-E, so that I know that you guys are hearing me also, because I'm quite fearful that I've been talking and I cannot read your comment because I don't see any comment coming in. All right, let me see, how is it? All right, this morning, I'm quite sure there is some problem with Facebook. That's why, okay. All right, I realize that the comments, okay, I just see, okay, I'm seeing, okay, I can see your emoticons is going in, but I don't see the words coming in. So I know that there's a problem here. Let me refresh again. You see? Well, all the lights have come out again. Okay, all right. So I missed out a lot of messages actually. Okay, thank you, Arun. Oh, you really, 15,500 exactly on the dot. Yeah. All right, morning to you. Okay, Colin, Nikkei rises so much, is it? Okay, I haven't go and see Nikkei yet. All right. Wow, buy DBS at $25. Okay, good. Thank you. See, I can see that my things are updating. Oh, gosh. Okay, so apology. I'll try to update once in a while. It seems like I start updating. Okay, not too sure why today. Okay, so TWB family, we leave no one behind. And this is something that we have been advocating from I think more than a year already. All right, so the thing is, you see, trading investment is always a very personal thing. But of course, sometimes you need some advice, you need some sharing. So that's why we want with this MAO every morning, right? We started as strangers, okay? And because we now go into e-learning portal to, because of COVID, I don't really have a chance to talk to y'all or speak to y'all, all right? So the only time that we can be more personal is when we are on MAO, whereby you can talk to me, we interact. Like family members, you just imagine we're sitting on a table and we're just holding our hands, or if not, just around the table, and we chit-chat. I think, imagine we have something like this every morning in a hostel example, and we just chit-chat to talk about the market. I think that would be the most what they call nicest time, all right, as a trader, because you get to really hear people's view, right? Isn't it true? That's why I encourage you guys to, come forward to share your views. I never once say, hey, you cannot say this, you cannot say that. In fact, I say, yeah, say whatever you want. As long as it's trading related, I think that is very important. All right, so success is working from failure to failure with no loss of enthusiasm. Now, yesterday, I think some of you text me, say, Kel, are you going to stop MAO soon? Because you sound like doing it. Well, I cannot deny this. As much as I like my MAO, I do it every day with enthusiasm, right? But every morning when I finish all my information, right, it's about 7:30 a.m. Then my kids are just getting up. And of course, I had to quickly rush, have my breakfast, and then after that, it will come to office. There are times whereby when my daughter and my son hug me, I kind of really want to stay at home to just, talk to them and enjoy my family time. But the problem is that I can't. So there's two families here. And as long as, I must tell myself which is more important in terms of work, because work will bring income will take care of my own family. So end of the day, I have to sacrifice a little bit somewhere in between. So that's why I want to repeat to most of you guys who missed this morning message, is that my MAO is at 9 a.m. now. All right, it won't be 8:30 or 8:45. Anyway, I will be late because I have to rush here and there. So 9 a.m. will be the time, all right? But still, I really hope that you guys will appreciate this, because every morning as well, right, it's not easy to wake up at 4:30 a.m. to do everything, rush up, PowerPoint up, then send up to you, okay? I'm not asking you guys to, I'm not trying to say that I need you guys to, appreciate me, but do me a little favor, okay? Do me a little favor, all right? At least, all right, if you share with your friends, say, hey, this guy every morning talk about this MAO, listen to him, things like that. Yeah, of course, but must join us, all right? So that is how I wish, okay, guys? So if those people who are a little bit still, unhappy, I don't know what you're unhappy with, if this family is really not meant for you, then you can just move on, okay? I'm still seeing messages on forums saying that my MAO sucks and whatever. I say that end of the day is this, if it's going to be a public member, I don't really care. But the problem is that it comes from in-house own people, then that's be sad though. Yeah, indeed. All right, Fred, start MAO later, spend more time with kids. If I lose it in the morning, right, then of course you guys may be a bit directionless, so that's why I think 9 a.m. is fair. Do 2 to 3 times a week, well, then there'll be in between, there'll be trades that have to recover back again. So it's okay 9 a.m. I'm fine with that. But I say, guys, just appreciation, because that is all I need. Not because to make me feel better, but at least when I do all these things itself, right, I know that I didn't let my kids down. All right, this is how I feel it. All right, so for what's the reason for buying? You can see that this is the short squeeze basket. Of course, this basket belongs to one particular news provider, I'll put it this way. All right, they are saying that right now there is so much short squeeze in the market and still squeezing all the way. Look at it, it's like 45 degrees angle. They're just doing it because why? The more people short, the more they buy. The more people short, the more they buy. And because they probably control the volume, so that's why the float, that's why the stock is going up this way. Oh my God. But of course, on the one side that the market is doing well, we saw, I warned you guys already. Remember, I warned you guys regarding about this, all the counters. Remember that I warned you guys regarding the counters like those clove, for example. You see clove yesterday came down from $29, came down all the way to $18 yesterday, clove. Then of course there we have AMC. Yesterday AMC was at $62. It dropped all the way to $50. And of course we also have GME. Now GME is worse. It from $327 dropped all the way down to $300. All right, why is that so? Because I told you guys all these are all controlled stocks, all right? They are all controlled. So their whole activity is more like a pump and a dump. And of course, now this SEC has come in, all right? SEC has come in to investigate on this GME counter. And of course, after market, it went down by another 10%. So all this tells you that, I mean, to think about this, when the stock was at this point, I'm quite sure there will be some leakage already. They know that they're in trouble. So they quickly dump the share all the way down. And all those holders who came in to buy thinking it's cheap, now they got hit. And now it's down by another 10%. So stock market is like that, guys. If you chase after it rolls up itself, right, you're in trouble. You always want to buy it then before they actually move up. It's like what we call, you do a bit of timing and you do a bit of speculative buying to have a risk that is low and our profit is high. All right, I will do a segment on this probably tomorrow. All right, tomorrow on this in the afternoon, in the evening time, to talk about how MTrader, all right, or people like Sort, right, how they actually really, so-called trade in the market, because they just keep on harping on this thing called risk management. Meaning that it's not just about keeping capital safe. No, it's about how to enter the market so that, right, you lose little, but you potentially make a lot. I will do this segment if I can by tomorrow, right? This is going to be pretty fun, okay? So guys, this is the 3 counters I told you to avoid. And if you have done it, now the price came down. If you think it's cheaper right now, then you can go. All right. So there's some movement, is it, in the Hong Kong market? I just saw that. Indeed, see, Hong Kong has went up. As I mentioned to you, Hong Kong KSI is green. So I told you most likely Hong Kong will be going towards the KTR +1. And indeed, it really shoot up. You see that? So you can see that I said this earlier, and now, wow, look at it. Hong Kong had just shoot up all the way. I think it's because China A50 went up, is it? Yeah. Okay, wow, China A50 have shot up. That's why. You can see that? I told you. That is why every morning I take this extra effort to talk to you guys, because you can see right now that it's very clear. It went up because it was above the MLP. You see that the MLP was here. And the market hit the MLP and straight away China A50 rocketed. All right. So really, this is why every morning we have this morning MAO, because you can see it live from here. And you can see for this Hong Kong also went past the moving average, and that's why it shot right up. All right. So all this tells you that you need to trust your indicators well. Okay, so the thing is this. You can see that this is the big issue right now, or so-called the positive issue, because that you can see the yields yesterday dropped all the way down to 1.47%. So why? Because apparently yesterday the US Department of Treasury have the highest auction ever for the whole entire year. So that pressed the yields down. Okay, so like that is like telling the world that okay, there's no inflation in this way, but it should tell us that right, there is a lot of buying in the treasury. So the question is, who's buying? Is it the funds or is it Federal Reserve themselves? Whatever it is, they have managed to now tell the whole world that even tonight CPI data is bad. They are no worry. So that's why today CPI data itself, if it's going to be bad, before you go and do the short selling, be careful, because like I say, they are not going to allow this so-called inflation to be a problem from what they are doing right now. Okay, so with that, this tells you that you can see now the market implied Fed rate for December 2022. You can see that with the yields coming down now, the odds of having a rate hike by end of December has went down so much more. So which means that right, the chance of a rate hike happening by year end of 2022 has went down. So that is a reason why even tonight data is not going to be bad. The market don't care. But the question is this, then why the stock market came off, right? That is a question that I don't understand. Because if that is the case itself, right, then there shouldn't be, the stock market should be going up. So it's most likely because that they just take profit first and create a false signal and then today they buy. Or it's all possible. So that's why traders today, for long position, if you want to buy, so once you see the technique calls for buy, you just go for it. Okay, because this is what it's actually saying right now. The big picture tells you that the market doesn't care anymore, at least for now. All right, and of course, we have another movement here on Bitcoin today. Yesterday, I will say that. Hold on, let me just, okay. Once in a while, with this PowerPoint, with some EQ. Okay, so yesterday, Bitcoin from 37,000 dropped all the way down to 31,000, right? The level I mentioned. And then after that, it rebounded strongly all the way back to 37,000. See that as if that it went through a big washout. Now, why is that so? Because of this country, all right? They have already approved to make Bitcoin a legal tender, all right? Salvador basically allows Bitcoin to be as a legal tender. So because of that, that is where the demand shows that now a country is into it. So if a country is into it and you as a regulatory body will want to curb it, right? I think it'll be tough though. So all I can say is that Bitcoin is here to stay. So anytime Bitcoin do come down, it will be a buy, all right? That's why I've been saying, but too bad it did not go to the 29,000 or even 28,000 that we wanted. So it doesn't matter, but at least we know the direction is there. Okay, so just to give more buying reason, now you can see that this is the share buy rating from the Wall Street boys. So you can see in terms of sector-wise, information technology is still the main G's of it. Most of them still prefer to buy IT. Compared to last year, it has bumped up in terms of rating. All right, compared to the previous year, it's even higher. So that's why IT is still one of the biggest, heavier bets in the market. Okay. Then after that, you have industry, materials, and so forth. All right, all the way down. Okay. Now, in terms of stock-wise, right, this rating is from FactSet. So, you can do your own due diligence. So they're saying that Microsoft now has the highest rating and they are targeting Microsoft to hit about $294. From now, it's about $253. So upside about 16%. So if you're going to go for high ROI, you can go for this thing called ServiceNow. Okay, it's going for 33%. And of course, the rest, you can take a look. But all this is not too sure from the FactSet itself. Is an independent consensus company. So you guys have to do your due diligence, okay? Now, if talking about finance, it's quite interesting because you realize there's nothing in no banks was inside there, all right? These are the high rating. And of course, we have this Assurance, they actually have 100% buy rating here, was pretty high. But then again, if you talk about the rest itself, like BlackRock, they although have a buy rating, but the upside potential is about 2%. So it's like, okay. So this is what I gather from internet. I'm just sharing with you. End of the day, you make your own decision call on this, okay? All right. So that's what's happening right now. I can see that Hong Kong is still gushing up. All right, Hong Kong is still gushing up. Let's take a look at Hong Kong right now. China, Hong Kong, wow, it's at 28,920 already. Wow, okay. So you can see that. Okay, wow, big candle, BNB, big candle there. Okay. All right, so guys, this is what you can see, all right, in the market. Okay, hold on, let me, all right. Okay. All right, so now we are going to have our event, I say, on the 19th of June. Now, some people have been asking me, how come, Cal, the numbers aren't coming out so fast? Because I told you guys, I promise you, family comes first. So what we did is that we allowed our own students to invite their friends all to come in first. Then we open to the public. So today, after my MAO is done, then we open this link to public. Yeah, so at the moment now, we already have received 260 people have already registered and signed up. Of course, I believe at least 60 to 100 came from you guys. So thank you so much once again for all the kind referrals to your friends to tell them to come for this event. All right. So we're going to hit our 300 soon. So once we hit 300, right, we will just cease. All right. But of course, we do sometimes know that people may, they register, but they don't attend, then the seat is wasted. And since it's not like we didn't ask for payment, so people don't really bother. So we will see how it goes. We may be we may take in about 330 people, then we may stop. We see how it goes. So I give you a very friendly advice and says, okay, if you receive the Zoom link from us, do yourself a favor, come in ASAP early on that day so that at least you can get in. Because Zoom site itself, I'm going to limit still to 300 people. So really, unless really we have a incredible intake, if not itself, I'm going to limit to 300. So it will be first come, first serve on that day. You get my point? So we will open registration. We open the intake coming in from 10:45 a.m. So from 10:45 a.m., you come in first, go in and wait. Then this you will secure your seat. Don't dilly-dally come in after 11 or 11:35, just to squeeze in to get the free gift, because you may not get to squeeze in by then. Okay, so you heard me, very important. 10:45, we will open for all our students coming in first. Okay, so you must come in ASAP, right? That is how I do it at 10:45. Don't be late, okay? All right. Hold on a minute, let me just, okay, so on the second half of our MAO today, we will talk about the US dollar. I promise you I'll cover US dollar again. Then I'll talk about the CBOE equity options that I've been saying just now earlier. So how about our local news right now? Wow, okay, we are now down to 4 cases already, lowest in 4 months. That's excellent. I'm really I really want to see reopening, put it this way, for the sake of all those people, the hawkers who are really, in a very bad position. I saw this viral video, right, from Sito, right? Okay, the food makan expert, right? He goes around hawker center, and really the older folks really don't have a chance in it, because now they say themselves, you see, last time the first circuit breaker, people still come out and buy food, but now practically no one come out. And I can tell you this, I did go around and I realized it's really happening. The number of people packet their food is now is much lesser. Either people cook themselves, or they actually just press for Grab. Seriously, that is what's happening. So really, for the economy's sake and some people, we really want to do that. And of course, I really hope that, that we will really be no more further restriction. And in fact, we can open up. So these data are quite old. I couldn't find any new ones, but I believe that based on what we know, how Singapore does this, I'm quite sure 13th of June, we should be able to reopen. This is my personal view. What's your take, guys? What do you think? Do you think that 13th of June, we're going to reopen soon? Let me know your take. And if you think you're going to reopen, what will be what type of, how wide you think this thing will go? All right, let me hear you guys text your answer right now so I can read it. Okay, meanwhile itself, unfortunately, one Singaporean 86-year-old guy, I believe, has passed on. So rest in peace, my friend. All right, so now this is something that I want to share with you. Yesterday, we have a very nice conversation, okay, on this, right? You see, this is what I want to tell you about how you do investment. So remember the day whereby we had the news about the restriction, and of course, the stock market immediately reacted by selling off. So those people who are smart, they will know that, right, let it come down and buy cheap. So I'm quite sure on 14th of May, Uncle Arun, are you here? Did you buy stocks on 14th of May? Because that was a low back then. And after that, from 14th of May, it went all the way up again. So it was up by 130 points. Now for STI to be up 130 points, I'm sure a lot of blue chips is up. So this is how you trade in the market. In a bullish condition, whenever there's a pullback because of some news or some announcement, you can use it to your advantage. Now people are asking me, Cal, can we buy here because we're going to have this reopening? I will tell you this, I totally agree with Travis. I think he was talking about this yesterday. I tell you, we may have a little bit of knee-jerk effect, but that means that when the market go up a little bit more, these people who buy, they will sell to those people who are chasing in. And that is why I say at 33,000 for Bitcoin, no one buy. At 60,000, people buy Bitcoin. This is always like that. So Uncle Arun, did you buy shares on 14, 15 of May? Okay, again, my comment box has stopped, so that's why I didn't see you guys writing it. Philip, you say that you didn't receive any email yet. Okay, can you just do us a favor? Give Susan your friend's email. We check on our site. Okay. All right. Adrian said that it may extend till end of the school holiday. This one I agree with that. It means that certain things still going to be extended, but maybe come to food wise as well, right? Or maybe the number of people may go to 5. I agree with you, Adrian. All right. Yeah, I think so, Fred. Yeah, they may open up to dine in, but limit to the number of packs. That one I agree. I think that will be likely be happening. Okay. All right. So that is how I see this whole thing right now. Okay. So let's just continue this. All right, but of course, we're talking about this whole entire thing now in the global COVID situation. I realized that right at the peak in April the 29th, we see about 900,000 cases, but now we have dropped down to a low of about 362,000. So it's like two-thirds. Wow, two-thirds. Yeah. So the numbers have dropped quite tremendously. So maybe the vaccination is doing a good job. But there's something that I still quite puzzled is look at this: India, Brazil, Argentina, they're still at a higher level. That means that the North Americans are actually still having some problem, all right? So I hope that it doesn't really spread back again, but you can see it's always like I hit here first and go the other side. So, by the way, US now, wow, look at the cases in the one single day, only 13,000 cases. I mean, you saw the Bitcoin convention. They're going back to they're going back to a stadium full of people cheering, jeering, Well, it seems that all is over. So don't you find that it's very incredible? It's like it came out of nowhere during the election, and now things settled down already. The COVID also is like disappearing. I don't know. I'll leave it there. But to me, it's just a good news. All right. Now, if Singapore is to emulate something, I think why don't try this? Well, I didn't know this. I did saw the news, by the way. All right, I didn't see it on the Channel News Asia, or I missed it. Tesla and gold bars will be given during for Hong Kong $15 million vaccine incentive prizes. Oh my God, I didn't know this. Okay, apparently it's our Li Ka-shing CK Group, along with his charitable foundation. They're going to give out 20 million Hong Kong dollar worth of shopping vouchers via lottery. And another guy, Adrian Cheng, is going to offer 10 million in subsidies. And of course, there's a lot of good stuff all going right now. And some of them, like even like this Goodman Group is holding a lottery, and they also give away Tesla Model 3 costing 500,000 Hong Kong dollars. Wow. Okay. Other companies are also giving up apartment. Apparently, wow. Sino Group. Okay. They are giving up. They're giving a new $1.4 million apartment in Kau Tong, all right, Kun Tong, all right, as a prize for the inoculated residents. Wow. Singapore doing that? Wow, I tell you, Singapore do that. I tell you, man, everyone will be taking the jab. I'm quite sure of that. $1.4 million. Wow. in Hong Kong, I tell you, a land that is so expensive, I tell you, this will definitely push people down to go down to take their jabs. What do you think, guys? Okay, I already know this. I just saw it last minute just now when I was on the way here. Singapore, wait long. Okay. All right. Anyway, that is what happened around the world. Okay. All right. So tonight, 8:30, right, guys, 8:30 p.m., be standby for the CPI data. Everybody's looking at 0.4%. The last time was 0.2, expecting 0.2. It came out 0.9. So this time around, it's going to be anywhere between 0.5 to 0.6. It's going to be acceptable. Ending at 0.9 or 1, the market going to flip. But based on what I see now with the crude oil price going up and stuff like that, but you do notice that some of the inflationary product like lumber, copper, all these prices have came from the top. Huh? So maybe my guess will be 0.6%. Okay, 0.6. This is my personal bet here yourself. All right, jobless claim, I don't know. I'm just going to give you a random number then. Okay, just anyhow give. Okay, anyway, this is my personal take. I can be totally wrong. All right. Okay, yeah, I'm not here to guess numbers. Just give you a fair figure. But I don't think it'll be high 0.9. I don't think so because I look at the data from the commodities, they all came off from the high. So I don't think that will be affecting the. All right, so the Dow Jones was initially up, right? Then after that, not too sure what happened. It U-turned and went all the way and closed near the low end. So maybe they purposely closed at the day low, right? Usually I tell you people, in the bull market, if the market closed at day low, usually the next day there should be bump buying, and seems that it's happening right now. So if today the Dow Jones is staying above OP, then traders be careful because this could be a setup for a buy up today. So this is something that you have to take note, all right? It could be a setup to buy up today. So we observe and we study the market. So the Dow Jones down 150 points for the third straight day. So it's quite interesting to see Dow coming down for 3 days in a row on almost nothing. So it's a tight range, we understand that, but primary is because industrial and financial were the biggest loser among the 11 sectors. All right, so now at the moment, this is what I really get very uncomfortable, is the meme stock mania. So the day before, they were buying into AMC. Then yesterday, the previous, okay, they were buying AMC. Then after that, they go into Wendy's. Then they go into Clove. Then yesterday, they go into clean energy fuel. Now, the thing is this, Clover, okay? The problem is this, right? They are doing it because they actually buy first. Then after that, they put it into Reddit, and Reddit pick it up, and all the guys jump in, and that's how things goes. And to me, it's blatant manipulation at its best, and it's so open. No one care, no one bother. I mean, SEC can do what they want, but end of the day is, I feel that they are just telling people that, cool, gamble, okay? As long as I close my 2 eyes, I don't care. So that's what's happening right now. So any counter is like going to get a jackpot. Or maybe they're going to tell this particular group, hey, buy up my shares and start to share the profit. Because this is really going crazy. No good reason for this counter to go up, but now it's actually making headlines on Wall Street. So with this sort of craziness, right, all I can tell you is this: in all stock market crises, okay, we have seen this many times before, right? Okay, in all stock market crises, we have seen this many times before. When the stock market is filled with people in the retail level making money, what will naturally happen? What will happen naturally? The stock market will be near the peak. All right, that means that, right, if the retailers are all jumping in the stock market right now, making money as if that is like money from the sky, and the funds are moving to the treasuries, I'm going to tell you this, my personal take is we are near a peak. All right, so that's why I want to remind you again, my point of view taking your trading to the next level is to just be careful, all right? We have been making money from the long side, right? So now we have to be very careful for the coming potential sell side, okay? Just potential, okay? So guys, are we clear with this? Okay, huh? All right, so you can see now on the mainstream media now, it's just like, we have the Dow Jones is down, but eyes are all on the inflation data, and everybody is just want to know what's next. But I can tell you this is overly done, all right? I don't think today will be any big movement. So after that, it's all right. Then people say, okay, what should we do next? And that's where the funds flow will be the main important part. So let's just check the Dow Jones today, this morning. Right, the Dow Jones FYI today is on the day chart is a CCYR on a day chart. So today is a sell if it goes below opening price, okay? But the KSI, you can see, is still green, okay? So now let's talk about yesterday first. Yesterday, the KSI was green, right? The day before, sorry. So when it opens above the OP by right, it should go up to KTR +1 by right, okay? But unfortunately, the market did not go up, and in fact, it came down. Now, once it crossed below the pivot 1, CCYR is a sell. But because the KSI is green, right, the downside will be limited between KTR -1 to KTR -3. So this is something that you really can write down before the market starts trading. All right. So later on itself, during our my review on technical side, right, I'll write it down and what you can do today, so you guys can be in advance notice. Okay. So let's see what happened. What happened yesterday? You can see that the Dow Jones, okay, really doesn't move much in the morning. I told you guys, don't trade in the morning, avoid trading in the morning, don't waste your time. Okay, so what happened is that then after that, the Dow Jones broke below the opening price. Now, the first time it went down to pivot 1, it did go down, but immediately it got rejected, okay, it got rejected, okay, and after that, the market went back up again. So by right itself, right, above OP, CCRY is a buy. But the market came down, but it didn't hit the stop loss button. And after that, what happened? Let me just off my stuff here. Okay. Then what happened? It came back down again. So it just basically stayed in OP for a while. Then after that, the market tries to go up again, but it doesn't even hit the KTR +1. So when the market doesn't hit KTR +1, where the KSI is green, I always tell people this. When the market is trading above OP and it doesn't cross even KTR +1, it's actually more to the sell side. And of course, you can see the market when it came down, it breaks OP again. And this time round, after it stabilized at the pivot 1 level, it couldn't hold and go down all the way to KTR -1. But of course, eventually it basically stays above it. So for yesterday, I will tell you there's no real clean shot on the Dow Jones, all right? Most likely you'll be hit by the market yesterday, okay? Because there's really no clean shot. And if you're going to talk about classic trade, right, CCRY above the OP, right, by definition, there are 2 buys during the GTH session, but both of them did not give enough to take the profit. So yesterday was kind of tough. I would say it's a tough day to trade with the system too. So, well, when times are bad, we just have to live with it. But of course, we also know that if the market is tough on one day, usually the second day, which is today, the market will be easier to trade. So let's see whether it will happen or not. All right. So again, my comment is being hanged. Let me read through again. I'm so sorry. Many anti-vaxxer in Hong Kong. So that's why huge batch of vaccines going to expire soon. Yeah, I totally agree with you that because they believe that it's going to be a conspiracy theory with all the vaccine that came from China. Am I right? Okay. So Colin also says 0.6. Wow, our CNBC says 0.6 also. Okay. Sorry, you can see I'm actually very delayed in my comment. So I don't know what's happening right now. WSB auditing their buy via their Discord server. Hey, that's why you're in Discord, right, Jimmy? Yeah, indeed, they are doing that. Yeah, Jimmy, you're right. So that is how they do it, because Discord has a way to, technically goes around it. Yeah, indeed. So guys, if you really want to make money from the stock market, then go and take a look at Reddit and see how they play this game, all right? Or the Wall Street bets people. Okay, but again, be very careful, huh? Remember, everybody is here to make money, and if you are the late person, then too bad, you could get hit, okay? All right, so let's just look at the stock market right now. Oh, wow, Hong Kong came down after hitting KTR +2, okay? What a big bar coming down. Okay, let's see what happened later on. But let's look at the Dow Jones first. China A50. Oh, okay. China A50 pulls back. That's why. Oh, okay. For China A50, there is a resistance here. I just saw it here. Yeah, somewhere here. That is the 18210. Those who are PTP trained, you will know what I'm trying to say. Now, PTP is really a worthy, class to attend. If you really ask me, if you really want to, go for what you call acceptable risk for high gain, you can do that. So example, just now, right, when this China A50, if you are PTP trained, you were shorted at this price at 18,210, and now already is down by 100 points in your favor already. Yeah. So that is what is the difference between GM level, the basic level, and the PTP level. Okay, so yeah, just to share with you lah. Okay, so let's look at the daily chart right now for the Dow Jones, for the conventional. Now, let me take this opportunity to explain myself here. Okay, first of all, MA30, MA200, all right, the formula is linear weighted and applied to close, okay? All right, that is our own setting, okay? 30 or the lower one is 200. Okay, 200 linear weighted close. Okay, now why am I saying this? Because there's some confusion right now. How come our MA30 or MA200 is not inside our this TWB system? Now, first of all, I'm not supposed to talk about I'm not supposed to talk about other than our TWB system, but because we are also doing this to show you the difference between conventional trains of thought versus ours, right? So no choice, I bring in conventional chart sharing to put it together. And I also infusing the probability of, putting two of them together to make your trading better. So if I cause confusion in this, just strictly follow the TWB system is good enough. But if you can accept new stuff, then what my MAO every morning doing this is just give you either an alternate market view of how technical analysis being watched by the traditional traders. So don't be confused by this and just take this as extra information. So all conventional conventional technical analysis is just add-on references. Okay, all right, it's not part of TWB system. So if you go through the e-learning portal, you won't get to see anything on it. Okay, clear? Okay, so now what we are seeing right now is that we see for moving average wise for the MA30. Now other schools are different. They have used different MA30, different moving average. So we will not compare apple with orange, but we're trying to tell you that we are using MA30 for very clear reason, because you see that the accuracy is really incredible. Now, we have been using this MA30 for a long while, right? At least 4 or 5 months already. And the example, this two point where the market hit the MA30 and rebound. You understand my point? So that means that, right, we are actually having a pretty interesting indicator on our hand. And this indicator really can help you to buy low or sell high. So that is the reason why, we stick to it. And this type of bounces, right, really tell you that it works. You understand? Yeah. So that is why you can see that it happened again yesterday. Yeah, yesterday the Dow Jones came down, right, and it touches that orange line again and rebounded. And we have this MAO every morning to verify and validate this. So we cannot be like repainting the chart. You understand? So all I can tell you is it has value this MAO every morning. So now 34,430 is the level for today. Now this level you have to watch. Okay, why do I want to say this? Because as you can see in the past experience, when the market hit the MA30, right here, it hit MA30, the market rebounded, hit the MA30, it rebounded, right? So yesterday also, so 1 trade, 2 trade, 3 trades, all hit the MA30 and rebounded. So which means that if today, 34,430 will be a very powerful level to watch. If the market hit that point, the market may actually rebound from there again. Now you notice that when the market rebound, right, the upside potential of each wave is about 100 to 300 points. Although yesterday one wasn't that fantastic, but still got rebound at least probably 25 points to 30 points. But the remaining is about 200 points. So if you guys were to look at this, that means that at 34,430, there's a potential upside if the market go by 200 points after that. So guys, put it down somewhere to remind yourself, if the Dow Jones comes down to 34,430, maybe there will be a good setup for buy. Okay? But on the flip note, if the market loses 34,430, then we do a bit of checking here itself, that when the market loses MA30, wow, and it closed below it, you notice that if the market goes below it, right, usually the downside could be as much as 500 points. Wow, 500. Okay. So The thing is this, if the Dow Jones today go below 34,430 and close below 34,430, the Dow can go down by 500 points. Wow, okay? So this is the thing that you must take note, okay? The upside and the downside of this. I'm not insinuating that you should short, because the market must go below 430 and close below 430 to see below, down a 500 pointer. So traders, you need to take note of that. All right, if you're clear with this, please key the word clear so that you guys know exactly what I just shared, because I don't want you guys to, misunderstand me and then get hit by the market. Right, so if you are okay with this, you understand what I'm trying to share here with the MA, please key the word clear now, CLEAR, so that I know that you guys have got the information passed down correctly. Okay, guys, thank you once again. Thank you. All right, you guys are all clear. All the guys, in fact, Fred, Jerry, Philip, Louis, Eric, and Michael, all other guys. So the ladies today. Okay. All right, so clear. Okay, that is the MA30. Dow Jones weekly chart itself, right, seemingly is going to have a Black Hawk. So we will see how it goes. The trend line is still very powerful. I show you now. Okay, see that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We're into our 9 week now. And for 9 weeks, the market is still at the nice trend. The only thing that it basically make me a bit uncomfortable is this point here, which is technically the 10 week. That means that if the 10 week by right, on the positive side, if the things are positive, we should see an all-time high again. Okay, by right, because if this is how the trend for 10 weeks in a row continue to go up, right, by right is going to be a, going to be an all-time high coming soon. Okay, now by left, this is where the short-term trend line and the big long-term trend line cuts in this point here, and this is actually next week. So technical chart itself, right? Sometimes you see this when this candle basically the body now is engulfing the white candle. If let's say next week things will get terrible, and if the market slides this through, this could be bad. That's why I don't know. I just feel that this whole thing tells me I should be very careful from today onwards, especially on the long side of it. All right. So I'm going to say this up front. This is a BNB. All right. This is a BNB. And this range itself, as I told you before, let's do the maths again. This range is 35,092 minus 33,283. This is a 1,809 move, okay? So again, I'm just going to draw this. I'm going to draw this right now. Okay, I think there's some hiccup here again. Gosh. Okay. If let's say the Dow Jones is going to come down, okay, if Dow Jones is going to come down, then there is a downside potential like this of 1,809 points. But of course, this may change because if this one come down, it may create a new BNB. So I'm saying that we're going to see a potential because now we're still too early. Unless this black candle become a BNB, then this will all change. If not, it's all right. We're going to either see a 1,800 point movement upside or 1,800 points downside movement. All right. So traders, you just need to be very careful on this. All right. So yeah. Okay. So when that happens, we will come and talk more on this. All right. So just take note of this downside upside potential. Okay, so let's look at the Hong Kong right now. Hong Kong, wow, look at it. It came down perfectly to the KTR +1, and incredibly, it seems that they know where to stop there. And once it stopped there, you see, it rebounded. You see, don't you find this is incredible? Our indicator really like as if that we are controlling the market, but we are not. You see, a lot of people, when they see chart, after they see, they draw trend line. But our trend line are all drawn before the market really start trading. So by the time it opens straight away, the KTR pivot all are there already. And the market just know where to stop. Don't you find it very amazing? Incredible. All right, so anyway, this is what happened right now. Let's look at US for today first. Okay, so I promise you I'm going to write it down for you. I'm going to write it down now. Okay, write it down, okay? So I'm going to write. So today the OP, color change. Okay, wait, change a better color. Okay, OP for today is between pivot 1 and 2. Hence, therefore, all right, above OP is a long based on CCRY and 15, right? Right, why? Because the KSI is green, okay? KSI is green today. All right. All right. So the target, you can go for KTR plus 1 to KTR plus 3. No problem, because it's a clear shot. Okay. Color doesn't look good. I'm going to use white color instead. Okay. So if the market is to come down, all right, if index goes below OP, you can short CCYR, all right? Then after that, right, your TP just aim at KTR minus 1 or max minus 2. Why? Because the KSI happen to be green in color, okay? So that is how you could be looking out to trade today if you want to follow the rules to apply. So if it's above OP, CCRY to buy, it is kind of safe because of KSI is green. But if you drop below OP, then you can aim for short, but KTR minus 1 to minus 2 at best. Okay? All right. Clear on this? Yeah. Now, Nasdaq has done the second Doji formation, right, for the second consecutive day. So what does it tell us? All right, now let's just look at the past history, okay? When's the last time we see something like this? Oops. Okay, Nasdaq, if you look at it from all the way from beginning, right, you can look at it, right, there isn't any much clear sign to have two Doji side by side. But majority of the time, if there's going to be a two Doji side by side, right, once it moves, the movement is quite big. So since we have two Doji today side by side, I will say that, right, the opening price for today will be the very important level to watch out for. So if the Nasdaq today stays above OP, today Nasdaq to continue upside is going to be there. But you can see for the second consecutive day, the Nasdaq hit 13,888. Once it goes there, it pulls back. Goes there, pulls back. So it seems to be some form of resistance over there. So as long as today Nasdaq stay above OP, based on the two Doji, we should see upside. But if the market really loses below the opening price, then the downside can bring it down all the way to potentially here, the MA30, which is 13,615 area. So I will take this way. If let's say the Nasdaq stay below OP, right, I will be waiting at this point to look for buy. Okay, look for buy. Because again, I repeat myself, because every time when the market hit the MA30 and it basically gets supported, the upside is definitely there. All right. But of course, same thing. If the market loses the MA30, then the downside could be drastic. So again, today, the pivotal point will be at 13,615. But because now it's at 200 points away, it's kind of not very possible to hit, at least for today, unless something very drastic happens. Okay. So S&P 500, also same thing. They is still toying around the opening price, so nothing much. The MA30 is still a distance away, so again, also nothing much. All right, let's just look at the Dow on its own for Nasdaq. Today, Nasdaq is also opening price between the two pivot. KSI is green, so same thing like the Dow. Upside is much higher chance. S&P 500. Okay. Oh, okay. S&P 500 today, no pivot. I repeat, today S&P 500 got no pivot. So if no pivot, that means that the opening price will be the main direction. So if S&P goes up, likely the Nasdaq will be going up, right? Likely, right? Right, as Dow Jones may be going opposite direction, but at least S&P, if it goes up, higher chance that the Nasdaq will go up. So today, the opening price, okay, so today I write down for you first. Okay, S&P, no pivot. So follow OP rule. So which means that if the S&P says it stays above opening price, then all the CCRY can buy. If the market stays below the OP, CCYR can sell. Okay, so this is quite a clear, important message because that will probably tell you where the Nasdaq will be going later on. Okay, all clear on this? I keep on have to refresh my screen, and when I refresh, I must play my screen. Cal, is there a previous BNB? You're talking about which market, Colin? Sorry, because my updating is not coming in proper, so I don't know which one are you talking about now. Are you talking about Dow or talking about Eric? TA is like window and TWB like Mac. That's a good one. Okay, let me wait for your reply. Nasdaq. Okay, hold on. Yeah, Nasdaq, there's a BNB here. There's a BNB here. Yeah, there's a Nasdaq BNB here. So if you want to talk about a BNB, then this is the BNB. So this is the range. So now the market is staying above the BNB RL. So that's why there is a potential of one time. So let's do the maths here. From this point to here is about 186 points. So 186 points from here will be 186 points. Yeah, already almost there hitting. 186 points will be about 13960. Yeah, around here. So if the Nasdaq push up right, you'll go to 13960 range. Okay, based on the BNB. So you guys can try to aim for that if the market's going to that particular direction. Okay, all right, so that's done. Let's look at the DAX right now. So yesterday, DAX really came down, all right, really came down to 15,500. And of course, I think that Uncle Arun really enjoyed himself because he went back up again, right? Okay, so for today, the MA30 is about 15,480. Now, yesterday, do you remember that I told you guys that the MLP is very important for the market MLP? And that's why you look at it yesterday, DAX, right? Once it touches the MLP, once it touches it, immediately it come back down. So that's why MLP is actually a very powerful technique, and this actually it's a technique from PTP lah. But because we want you guys to benefit a bit more, so we inform you, and you can see the market really react accordingly. Okay, all right. So that is what happened on DAX. So today DAX support will be at 15,480 level. All right, that is the support that I'm looking at. For BNB wise, we have this over here, right? This is the BNB range, right? So you can see also yesterday the market failed to cross the BNB RL level. That's why it also gave the sell signal. So for today, the MLP will be somewhere here at 15,615 level. Now, if you ask me about DAX, right, I will show you something later on about DAX. You see, when the market was going up, no one talked about DAX, no one talked about Europe. Now the market at a high, you realize that all the news are coming to tell you that to buy Europe stocks and stuff like that. I don't really agree with that. So I kind of suspect that, right, there should be more selling to around MA30 today. So I believe that today DAX has more downside towards the MA30. My angle is MA30. And that's about 15,480 mark. Okay, so Uncle Arun, the 15,480, okay, today, we watch out for that. Okay, all right. So one more is Nikkei. So today Nikkei is up by about 200 points. Nikkei today is above MA 30 and it's also trading above the MLP. That's why Nikkei is up. Now, why Nikkei is up? Because the dollar is up, right? I told you guys before, the US dollar has a big move, play on the Nikkei because a stronger yen will actually move a stronger yen itself, right, will actually push the yen down. Sorry, a stronger dollar will push the yen down, and the yen when it goes down, right, it actually will move the Nikkei a bit to the upside. All right, so you can see the US dollar seemingly strengthening because yesterday is a CCRY and now it is staying afloat. So unless it sell down, if not it sell, right, I kind of suspect that the US dollar has probably bottomed out a little bit. Okay, has probably bottomed out a little bit. So we monitor the market closer. Okay. All right, so that is going to cover all the indices. Let's start look at the gold market right now. The gold market. So yesterday, gold all the way has been pretty flat. There was a sudden spike at 8 o'clock. All right, we do see this happening almost every evening, about 7:30 p.m. to about 10:30 p.m. There's always a sudden movement like this. All right, I've been seeing this for a couple of days already. So don't you agree with that? Those who have been trading gold, you know, if you have been observing gold, you have seen that already. Wait, I just saw this Colin's message again. Sorry, Colin. All this one thing with my comment box is really not updating, so I must keep on refreshing, so I cannot see 100% mark. Oh, okay. Colin, the BNB, the nearest one is here. You have to use the nearest one. From right to left, you always must use the nearest one. So the 100% one is here. That is the all-time high also. Yeah. Am I getting you right? Okay. Never mind. I'll come back to you later. So now there is some saying that the Beijing money laundering crackdown continue to dent on Bitcoin, and apparently now it's damping, it's turning into gold also. Okay, so wow. Okay, so but then again, as I told you, right, Hong Kong is saying that they're going to give gold bars as part of incentive. So that's why gold seems to be again in the limelight. And of course, now we're talking about waiting for the US data and the ECB meeting. So let's go through what happened on gold yesterday. Okay. Now gold KSI is red, so definitely it'll be more towards the sell side. So when gold open between the two pivot, normally when stay above OP is a buy, right? But because KSI is red, so when you hit KTR +1, there should be some profit taking already. And in this case, I think it happened. And of course, if they go below P2 by right, it should sell, but the market did not really sell yesterday. So let's just take a look what happened yesterday. So yesterday, the market was again sideways. Then after that, it went down initially. It went down to pivot 2. And of course, by below OP, by below 2 should come down, but it didn't really go down much. And the KCX was there already. So KCX come in and then the market recovers. And you can see it tries to go down again, but almost immediately the market rebounded. And of course, if you look at the bottom of the screen, the KSI was green. So normally if I see a CCYR supposed to go down, but almost instantly the market recover, right? I know that something is not correct. And of course, here we have two BNB. We have two BNB side by side each other, and it triggers the pivot 2 and rebounded. And KSI was green and no blue bars at the bottom. All these are very bullish signal. And of course, the market shoot up. But very interestingly, the market missed the KTR +1 also. It just missed it by a couple of cents and then it pulls back down again. So yesterday, like I say, the market was pretty tough. Right, pretty tough. So if you didn't take profit fast enough, right, you will be left hanging. And I did mention to you guys, if you are trading the market, consider to you X theory. Meaning, right, if you're buying here, example, your stop loss will be here, right? Make sure you give buffer, if not you get stop out. So this is your range of entry. So when you go up and take profit, right, you take 1x accordingly. That means that if this range is X, then you go for 1x profit. Don't really aim at KTR, because aiming KTR sometimes it doesn't hit. So aiming X will be a better choice. Okay, if you don't too sure how to do X theory, all right, for GM11 later on, when time permits, I will share more of this with you guys. Okay, so that was happened in gold yesterday. Okay, so let's look at gold right now. Okay, I just refresh my screen again. Okay. Yeah, Qinghui, the DAX support level is 15480 today. Eh? Watch out for 15480 today. Okay, so let's look at this is the gold chart right now. Okay, so gold chart apparently is all right. It is now nearing the MA30. So zooming in, we are now very near to the MA30 level. Now the MA30 level is here at 1880. Okay, 1880, and the MLP is 1890. 1890. So what does it have to tell us? So basically, what's happening right now is that if gold cannot go past 1890, gold may have to test 1880, which I believe that it may have to test. Okay, so traders, I'm saying this again, the MLP for today is 1890 for MLP. The MA is 1880. If gold price comes down to 1880 and gets supported, that will be a buy, because the last time we see this, the gold went up. The last time we see this, the gold went up. The last time we saw this, the gold went up. So every time when gold hit the MA30, gold always will rebound. Okay, so that is a very important thing to note again. 1880 for gold today. Okay, very important level. But once if gold start to trade below 1880 and doesn't rebound, then we have some selling problem. So the selling problem, the last time we see this, okay, I'm going to make a screen show to you now. The last time when gold, the last time when gold touches is from the top come down and lose the MA30, it was this day. Take a look, this day. This day happened to be, what day is that? Happened to be the 8th of January this year, 8th of January this year, okay? I think that was after the non-farm payroll or during that period of time. And of course, that day after the gold smashed below the MA30, wow, gold went down all the way, okay? Gold went down all the way. Now, the thing is this, you may ask, Kel, what if, let's say tonight data is going to be terrible? Let's say, wow, really incredible. Let's say maybe it's like, what, 1% example. Or then we have a problem. If that is the case itself, right, then I can tell you this, the dollar will shoot up. Because that means that there's a higher chance that they would really need the tapering to be cut and the interest rate to rise. Then the gold will plunge. So I'm not saying that this will happen, but you can see that overall now is still pretty bullish, because the time when this happened, the MA30 and the MA200 was very near each other. But this time now we are very far. So it's not, I don't think this will happen. I don't think the plunge will come, because this is a very different animal altogether right now. The time once the market loses MA200, obviously algorithm will start to sell, right? So now we are quite far away. So I don't think this will happen. I don't think so. I don't think so. Okay, but then on the ground of this, all right, I kind of suspect that we may see some selling. So my personal take is this: even the selling come down, the downside should be around here, the maximum. That is about 1870 because that is a KCB level, 1870. Okay, but still I say I will look to buy at 1880 for if the MA stays, because it has been proven whenever the market hit the MA 30, the market will generally rebound from there. Okay, all right, so you got my gold call for today. Huh? Weekly chart wise is still pretty positive, although we have a reversal candle right now, but still within the BNB range. The BNB range is pretty big, so if it really moves, then there is an upside or downside of about $70. So we'll talk about this when the time comes. Silver prices is now hanging on its trend on MA30, so really 27688 seem to be the same number all the way for the last few days. So we're going to stick it up there. Okay, okay, our own chart right now, TWB chart. So the TWB chart still very clearly inform us that the market itself today have just tested the 184 level. Just moments ago, it tested the pivot 2 and rebounded. So this is going to be scary though, guys. If the gold opening price is so near the pivot 2 and it touches it, by right, if it's still a CCRY, it will rebound. But because the KSI is still red in color, so really it must stay above the CCRY above OP to be safer. So wait for it to go above OP, then buy will be safer. But if it break below P2, then of course the selling will bring it down to the level that I mentioned, about 1869 level, around there. So today, now it's 1886, right? So if the market loses 1884, then the downside potential could be 1869 level. Okay, for gold. Upside, kind of limited because of the KSI. So upside, I will say that with KTR plus 1. Right, where's KTR plus 1? I can show to you right now. KTR plus 1 is 1896. So if the market really can find itself stabilizing at P2 and rebound above OP, then of course it can go up to 1896 level. Okay, 1896, which is the KTR plus 1. Okay, all right, but if it goes below P2, 1880 should be the level that it will go first. Okay, all right, traders. So watch the market closer as we approach the GTH. Usually about 11 a.m., 11:30 a.m. we should see some movement already. So about another 1 hour time now, we should see some movement. Yeah, because that's where the India market comes in. Okay, all right, so that will be gold. Okay, so 8:30 a.m., 8:30 p.m. later on with CPI data. So stand by in front of the screen and watch out. If you are not too sure the direction, then just hedge your position first or close your position first, because the volatility may be very scary and this may hit you unnecessarily. All right. Okay, guys, that will be all for today's MAO part 1. All right, MAO part 1 has been done. So if you want to stay on for the MAO part 2, you can come back here in about 15 seconds time. All right.
Okay.
Hello. Okay, guys, welcome back to the alternate market views second half of MAO. Now, you may want to ask why I got this 15-second break once again, right? It's because I let you digest a bit what happened in the morning, and you think that you don't want to hear further on the negative side, just exit, all right? This morning, I think I flashed you guys a lot of positive notes and also there will be a bit warning sign. So maybe you think you're enough, you don't want to hear anymore on the negative. All right, but still, my job is to tell you everything that you need to know as a trader, and then you make your own decision as a trader too, all right? So let's just continue now to talk about the alternate market views. So, another, okay, we're having this little problem with my, okay, hold on, okay, let me just do this first. Okay. Now, Mark Mobius, all right, he is the legendary management manager. He is saying that, right, there's confusion and disorientation driving crazy moves in the market, all right? This guy, right? Remember this guy, the botak guy? Okay, I read his book, all right, and I think it's pretty good read. So he's saying that now this market is really, really described as crazy, and it's very disoriented. All right, so let me bring out the video back to you and you can watch what he has to say and you make your own decision call, all right? Okay, I realized that when I this thing, my video will go down. Why is that like that? Hold on. Okay. I try this again. Okay, seems like we have a problem right now. Let me just try to insert again. Yeah, I think whenever I have this problem, my sound will have a problem. Okay, so anyway, well, it happens. Okay, it's just basically this guy, Mark, is saying that, right, the market now is really in confusion state and he thinks that the market now is very dangerous. He felt that, right, it's time to be very careful, all right? That's what I'm trying to say. So I'll bring up this video onto our Trade with the Boys Facebook page later. It's down, all right? So apology on this. It happened yesterday too. Not too sure why. Every time we have this problem. Okay, never mind. So yesterday I talked about the US dollar. I talked about the US dollar and I said that why people are not saying that it will crash. And I also tell you that it will not. So of course we have people like Ray Dalio who is very positive that it will. All right, we have Morgan Stanley, Stephen Roach say that it will also be coming down. So why is that so? Why the US dollar, in my opinion, may not be coming down? All right, so this is my view, or this is what I see from the Bloomberg, the second half of the article. So basically, right, this is the US dollar index that is using 26 currency and it's calculated monthly, okay? And you can see that the range is still trading above the 2006 range. It's trading at 104 right now. So there seems to be no crash at all. And of course, although the bears are saying that it's not now, it's going to be further in the coming future about USA's overspending and undersaving. Well, it is possible, but history has proven that even there's going to be a pullback of significant, after that itself, right, the US dollar will always rebound. Because we have seen that US dollar has defied repeated forecasts of doom, and every time it outlived the bearish forecast. Really, for the longest of time, the last 6-7 years, we always been hearing people saying that US dollar is going to die, but apparently it's always there. Like even Jim Rogers, the one that I really respect him, the investor, he have been saying that the dollar is in a big crisis, but we have not really seen it the last 6 years. All right. So all I can tell you is that you have to believe in military power and their control of the financial market. So you can see if you do a Google on your own, you can see that there are a lot of articles, videos all saying that the US dollar will face crisis. That was 2020. and they say that the crash is inevitable. Ray Dalio said that it will be coming down. Yale Roach, the guy, says that it will definitely be bad. You know, these are all the professors, all the rich people, all the very powerful influencer in the market. But if you look at the chart on its own, yeah, if you're telling me that from 103, it goes down to this point here of 90 is a crash, then the answer is 10%. So if 10% over a year is a crash, well, I don't really buy that, okay? But you ask me, right, based on chart wise, every time we hit 90, as you can see over here, the market will consolidate for a while. And usually you have all the doomsday callers who say that the dollar will crash. And for some reason, the dollar on its own will go up. So the question is, are we going to see this? So let me now open this to the floor right now, guys. What do you think? Do you think that dollar will crash? So if you think that dollar will crash, please type will crash. If you say no, just key the word no, all right? So let me see what the consensus right here now. We have about 64 of you guys. So please tell me in your personal perspective, right? Do you think the dollar will crash or it will not? All right, so give me your answer right now. I will wait for a while to refresh my screen because I know that you guys are still streaming with your answers. If I refresh my screen right now, I may not get the answers. Okay, I'll give about 10 seconds. You guys key right now. Okay, 10 seconds passed quite fast, right? Okay, let's take a look. Okay, so wow. Yeah, John, I think maybe we have some system resources. Okay, that causes it. Sometimes it's been platform. All right, thank you, John, for sharing with me. Jerry, Louis, Colleen, Joe, Edwin, Eileen, Carl, Emily, I believe, that Stan, Jimmy, all of you say that it won't crash, right? So to me is that, let's put it this way, okay? I don't think the dollar will crash right now. I believe that dollar will sell heavier when there is a need to flood the market again. That means that right now, you can see that the stock market, the dollar have been pumped into the system, right? 3.5 trillion, sorry, been pumped into the system. So the dollar depreciated in value. That one is very clear, all right, since 2020. But the point is that now the stock market has kind of recovered already, right? So it's a good time for the dollar to go up again because they need to, either lessen the taper. They start to do the tapering or they increase interest rate or, something like that. So when that happens, the dollar will climb, all right? But when that happens, the stock market may really get into a bit of shock. Like I said, this stock market is on steroid, and if the steroid is taken out from its body, the stock market may really go into limbs, and it may really, sell off. If the stock market sell off too fast, all right, and the market couldn't take it anymore, then if Federal Reserve say, okay, you know what, we cannot do this anymore, we come in again, and this time now they pour even more money, maybe this time now $5 trillion into the system. Yes, then the dollar will really go down all the way to the 70 region. Yeah, then it is possible. All right, then it's considered a crash because anything from the high to low more than 20% is a so-called crash. All right, so that is where I'm saying, but that will be the second half of the year if they even bother to do that. Okay, so that is my view right here now. So dollar, in my opinion, I kind of want to say this to you guys. I'm not comfortable to short the dollar right now. I think the dollar may actually be recovering soon. All right, and of course, this is the CBOE. All right. The equity options put call. Now you can see the put and call is now at one of the lowest level since 2001. Okay, so what does it mean? That means that the number of people now buying put is more to the downside versus call is a very at the lower end. That means that for every one call, there's only 0.4 put in the market. Now you can see it's always like that. Okay, guys. Example. Remember back in 2020, early February, that was whereby you can see that the put call was at the highest level because everybody jumped in to buy the put call. And when that people does that, what happened? Stock market really recover. And of course, the put call all the way went down. So the last time we covered this, it was last year when it went down to about 0.5. But this time now, it got even worse. It went down further, and now it's 0.44. So the last time when this happened was year 2001, and that was the time whereby SARS came out. Okay, so it was in where we were recovering. That was where after the Nasdaq sell off, SARS came out in 2002. Sorry, my bad. So 2002 when SARS came out, that's why you see the put call went up all the way because of the worry of SARS. So 2001 was where the market was pretty optimistic, put it this way. It was pretty optimistic, and everybody said that, okay, the Nasdaq is no problem right now. So all I'm saying is this complacency now? Well, this is your call. But again, I stress this. If history is a good way to remind us in trading, then guys, be very careful, because every time we go down to 0.44 or 0.5, the market, or 0.45 example, the market have a good way to remind traders. Okay, so guys, really put your leg on the brake pedal, okay, while lifting the other foot off from the accelerator. That is what I'm trying to say and reminding you over and over again. All right, now this is what happened last night. We have $500 billion worth of this reverse repo operation in the market again. Now, that means that the market is now full of liquidity. So all the money don't know where to put now. So no choice. The only one that's safest and can buy hell a lot is only in the treasuries. So rather than you put anywhere in the stock market whereby you're going to be the feeder, so might as well just dump into the treasury and make sure that I got money and I'm protected. So that's why this money now is made to be available, seemingly that somebody knows that there is a potential need of money in the time to come. So let's just play safe and protect ourselves first. You don't see this happen, right? The last time when we see something such an incredible move was during the pandemic time. You see that? In the pandemic time, there was the spike. So now we are no pandemic. Then why the hell are we doing this? Right, think about this. Can anyone tell me what's your view on this? Why, when there's no pandemic now, COVID have recovered, the numbers are dropping, why is Federal Reserve now doing this? Why are they putting so much money now? Okay, so that is whereby I really don't understand, and this is going to be a very dangerous situation, because when you don't understand something, but the amount of money is so insane, then you just have to be very, very careful. All right. Okay, so that is what I view in the market. But again, everybody got their own reason, their own way of trading. Till then, we will know when the market will move. All right. So today, that will be all for today's MAO. Once again, I appreciate for your time and holding on for me so long. But remember, guys, my job is to do all the work for you. Your job is to trade according to the plan. All right. If you guys make money, please be open, share your trades in the group chat, in our Telegram group chat, and inspire people around you. Making money and sharing is a very thing that we do in the TWB family. All right, don't forget, again, we're going to open the registration for today's, for the 19th of June event. Please, if you have not registered, quickly do it, because you don't want to lose out. Okay, that will be all for today. Have a great day. I'll see you again at 2 o'clock. Cheers. Bye-bye.